Hi everybody. Fresh off the window install, we're taking care of we're taking care of one vital thing in this video, and then one non-vital yet vital thing. So starting off with dealing with the breather tube. So we'd installed the breather tube before, which you can't really see too well as it's behind that giant white engine mount tube down there. But you know, that connects to the top of the engine. Blowout oil goes down the tube, out the center tunnel, right into the atmosphere just for your children. Great. Okay. Problem is that breather tube normally goes right back to the firewall and then just traipses down the firewall with a couple of Adele clamps on it, which is all good and well in a standard plane. But since this is the custom special, what happened was the breather tube wanted to go between the very last piece of the very last piece of fuel hose before it disappears back behind the firewall to go to the back to the tanks, the return line. So that just was too damn dangerous. So suggestion came from Matthew, our club mechanic, said, well, why don't you just bend it to go away from the firewall and then clamp it to an engine mount. So that's what we're doing. So now instead of it looking like a 90-degree angle, because it's basically it's a straight, you can see it there, it's just a straight piece of aluminum tubing that goes down, bends 90 degrees, and then goes straight down. Now it's shaped more or less like a question mark. So it bends out and then clamps, or has an Adele clamp to one of the engine mount tubes. And that's about, you know what, and that's just about as good as that was going to get. Because there I am trying to get oh man, let me tell you. And of course, director of photography, me, genius, puts it in the hardest place in the universe. So you see where that tube is. Getting the awl back there and the vice grips for the Adele clamp vice grips. Now that was an honest to God pain in the ass. Oh man, what a monster bitch that was. All right, so build update. Yeah, at this point, I'm considering the plane done. Well, it's flyable. Still haven't finished 100% of the leg fairings, but those aren't required for flight, so I'm not too worried about that. The taxiing around is nice. In fact, here in about 10 minutes after I'm done narrating this video and the next one, I'm going to go taxi the plane around the airport for about 30 minutes, because why not? All right, so we're putting that clamp on hold. You can see I've got the awl just kind of stuck out there. Don't worry, I'm not going to go flying around with it. And now we're moving on to the second most important thing in this plane, the horn. That's right. I just got sick and tired of not, having the possibility of the horn, because that's just unthinkable. So instead, what we're doing is we're mounting it on hard. Originally, I had two clamps on the horn, but it was onto the same engine mount rod, and that's fine, except for the fact that then that allows it to sort of rotate around freely, which would either wind up going backwards, dinging into the it would wind up either hitting the cowling on one side, or if it did keep going, it would then go into the exhaust, and that would just be a recipe for trouble. Now we have got a full mount. It's attached to two different rods, and it looks great. In fact, you know what? Here's a picture. I used a giant piece of, I used an old piece of that huge copper, 1/8 inch copper bus bar to hold it in place. I think it looks good, and it works great. So, all right. In the next video, we're going to finish up the canopy heat. So thank you for joining me, everyone. See you soon.